I think people need to start viewing the fact that they can be healthy, that they have legs to walk, that they have a brain to operate, that they have hands to be able to type on a keyboard and make money online. When you were born, you were given a nationality, you were given a name, you're given a religion, you were given a color, you're given a social security number, a passport number, and be okay with changing your philosophy and your worldview and your lane if you perceive that you have been fooled.
If I am 19 years old, I'm at home and I love Luke Belmar's content and I want to get the out of the matrix, right? How do I identify these things and what do I do realistically, right? Like what are my first steps? Where do I go?
Go do some push-ups.
Push-ups?
Yeah, go do some push-ups. If you can't do push-ups, how are you supposed to do anything else in life? Oh, the push-ups. Go do them. Go do 50 push-ups a day for 30 days. What, you think you're going to run a multi-million-dollar business? Oh, yeah, but look at all these guys. Yeah, the example is just establish discipline in some area of your life. Win in some area of your life. Win. Have a small win. You know the little monsters in your life that you shouldn't have. Those are the ones that you need to attack, and they're individual for each person. I said push-ups because for the longest time, I never wanted to do push-ups. Now every single day I do 100 push-ups. Just normal. Just boom, 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 boom. 50. Wait, hold up. 50. When do I do them? Before my meal. Crank out 50 push-ups. All right, perfect. I earned my meal. Now I'm going to go for a 10-minute walk after I eat. And either these are the small habits that instill discipline and that allow you to become confident. So figure out what those things are. If you say you're going to read a book, read it. If you buy the book, read it. Don't read it all the way through. Read it to explore, to understand. Motherfucker, you buy the book, you don't even open it. You read the first 3 pages as if it was some sort of college book. It's your fucking self-education and the preservation of your mind. Treat it as such. Treat it with that importance. Surround yourself with good people. People that'll guard your energy, people that will guard your soul, people that will nurture you into becoming the greatest version of yourself. There's a lot of vultures, value vultures out there, vampires of energy that will suck you dry if you allow them, succubus. And it's important to identify these people and get rid of them if they don't want to change. Because in this journey of self-development, in this journey of becoming the best version of yourself, you're going to have to leave a lot of people on the way. And that's the price that you got to pay to become the best version of yourself. So those are, I think, some things that people got to be doing to level up.
How are you thinking about setting goals?
I no longer set goals.
What do you do?
I do. So I focus on the input and I allow, by universal law, for output to be emitted. So Newton's third law explains that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So whether it's at a planetary level or at a cellular level or at an energetic level, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So what do I understand by that? In my life is that if I do something, there will be a retribution or a echoing effect in equal proportion to that, right? The energy is transferred and it's returned in the same proportion. So if I understand that I emit X amount of energy by exercising, I will have a guaranteed body and a guaranteed result because I understand that by universal law, that will happen. And I have plenty of examples in the real world to prove it. That if I eat healthy, I'll extend my life. That if I exercise, I'll extend my life. That if I do breath work, I'm going to release tension and cortisol and stress, right? These are all things that we've been understanding and proving and developing into that we need to be intuitive about. And I think that it's extremely important that people begin to be intuitive who they are and having these self-talks. It's interesting. I don't think everybody speaks to themselves.
6% of the population, they said, doesn't have an internal dialogue, actually.
And I would probably think it's more because a lot of these internal dialogues are controlled by emotions and systems and preconditioned environments that they've been set in, which is what the matrix is. The matrix isn't pointing fingers at a person. You're the matrix. Like you are part of the problem.
Because we've been programmed?
Because you haven't developed your own identity. Your identity is the adoption of what other people have told you things are. And I think people need to, yeah, sure, you can embody beliefs of other people and you can take these things, but make them your own. Embody them. Nurture yourself into them. And when you nurture yourself into them, the habit of becoming healthy, the habit of exercising, the habit of leveling up no longer is a chore, but it's a privilege. And I think people need to start viewing the fact that they can be healthy, that they have legs to walk, that they have a brain to operate, that they have hands to be able to type on a keyboard and make money online as a privilege. And if you understand that it's a privilege, then you begin to appreciate it. And the thing is, people take things for granted. And the paradox of life that I found to be extremely interesting is that people put a lot of value in the things that they can replace, and they neglect the things that they cannot replace. So people put value on the Gucci belt, they put value on the car. All of these things are replaceable. But the things that they cannot replace, their health, their family, their mental state, their peace, they neglect. And it's paradoxical. And it makes no sense. So why up and learn the hard way when it makes more sense to live a life that is balanced and a life that has purpose and meaning. And I understand, go crazy, do your thing. But if you live a centered life, if you live a life of balance, a life with integrity, a life with direction, I think it could be a good life.
Our actions, our beliefs being programmed to serve desires that are not our own. There's a lack of clarity around the they, right? Who is it that is doing the programming?
There is no they, bro. It transcends one individual. Transcends one person, bro. This is a spiritual game that is being played here at a deep level that transcends borders and ideologies. It's good versus evil, and it's that process of, well, what is good and what is evil, because there's a wide spectrum of that in and of itself. But what I will say is, going back to this idea of identity, is that think about how much of your identity isn't actually you. When you were born, you were given a nationality, you were given a name, you're given a religion, you were given a color, you're given a social security number, a passport number, your stock number, right? You're given your numerical human resource. This is your expendable character. You were thrown off to the first programming camp, kindergarten, right? Where you were told to stand in line under the fluorescent lights. You couldn't raise your hands. You were told when you had to pee. You weren't allowed to be a child and play. And therefore, you were a failure and you were left behind if you didn't adapt into the system really quickly. You were able to graduate into the next degree, which is very interesting. Then you go into elementary school, after your brain leaves that theta state of programming. And you start to realize that all these kids are being programmed by other people that have selfish intentions, that you have to deal with that programming that you've gone through yourself and understand that the origin of the content that you consume may have ulterior motives. And you have to be able to...
Do you think homeschooling is the only practice, the best practice?
100%. I think parents release the responsibility of parenthood to be in the rat race. And I understand, right? People have to work. But you're leaving your children to be taught by the system. You know what the system breeds. You have a daughter. You know what type of women are coming out of the school system, of the universities. You want your daughter to be that type of woman? Yes or no? Okay, perfect. Where is she being programmed? What is she listening to? What's on her phone? All these things are developing this child. And as a parent, if you aren't teaching your children how to become better versions of themselves, better versions than you, then the system will teach them instead. And the system isn't just the school system. It can be any system out there, but somebody's going to program them.